Once upon a time in a quaint little town named Maplewood, there lived a woman named Clara. She was a kind soul known for her warm smile and gentle spirit. Clara had spent many happy years with her husband, Tom, who had seemingly brought light to her life. They built a life together filled with love, laughter, and shared dreams for the future. Unfortunately, after a battle with a terminal illness, Tom passed away, leaving Clara heartbroken and alone. As she navigated through her grief, Clara soon discovered that the pain of losing Tom was not her only burden. Tom's family, who had always been somewhat distant, suddenly emerged from the shadows after his passing. They had a starkly different vision of the life Tom had built. They believed they had a right to everything he had left behind, including his belongings and their shared home. Tom's parents, particularly his mother, Margaret, were determined to take control of what they believed was rightfully theirs. They confronted Clara, accusing her of having manipulated Tom into stealing family heirlooms and ancestral property. Clara, still reeling from her loss, found herself backed into a corner. Each meeting left her feeling small and vulnerable. Margaret harangued Clara with emotional tales of how family was everything, all while demanding that Clara hand over things that meant the world to her. She tried to reason with them, explaining how much those possessions meant to her and what they represented of the love she had shared with Tom. But their hearts seemed to be hardened by grief and resentment rather than empathy. With each passing week, the harassment escalated. They would show up unannounced, rifling through Tom's belongings, demanding that Clara separate his stuff from hers. The peaceful home they had shared began to feel hostile and oppressive. Friends who had once gathered for joyful dinners now hesitated to approach her, unsure of how to navigate the fractious family dynamics. Feeling isolated and defeated, Clara spent hours poring over old photographs and treasured mementos, clinging to memories of the life she had built with Tom. But she also realized that she could not allow his family to continue to torment her. With a newfound sense of determination, she decided to fight back, not out of anger, but for her dignity and the love she had for her late husband. Clara sought legal advice and began gathering evidence of her life with Tom, their shared accounts, joint purchases, and the myriad ways they built a life together. Her attorney helped her frame a response to her late husband's family, highlighting her rights and calling out their bullying behavior. One fateful day, Clara gathered her courage for a confrontation with Margaret and the rest of Tom's family. She invited them to the home one last time, knowing that it was now a battleground for their memories and futures.
When they arrived, she presented them with her findings and stood her ground, articulating not just the legalities, but the emotional weight of her love for Tom. These possessions, Clara began, her voice steady, are more than objects. They're the essence of our shared life, the laughter, the dreams, the love. I won't let anyone dismiss that or take it away from me. Tom loved you, but he also loved me, and that love deserves respect. As she spoke, Clara felt strength swelling within her. The room grew silent, and for the first time, she saw confusion on their faces. Perhaps they hadn't realized how deeply their actions had hurt her. Perhaps they hadn't stopped to consider that love could manifest in different forms. Margaret's face paled, and, for the first time, Clara recognized a hint of sadness rather than malice in her eyes. Slowly, conversation turned from accusation to understanding. They began to share their own experiences of grief and the pain of loss, discovering that they were not so different after all. By the time the meeting ended, though they were still divided by their perceptions of ownership and love, a fragile truce had been established. Clara kept her home, but she also let go of some of the anger she had held. In the end, she realized that she needed to carry Tom's memory with her, not just in the physical items around her, but in her heart. In the months that followed, while she continued to rebuild her life, Clara found strength in supporting others facing similar struggles. She began volunteering at a local grief support group, where she shared her experience, giving comfort and advocacy to those who felt powerless in the face of loss. Through this journey, Clara not only reclaimed her life, but also turned her pain into purpose, forever honoring the love she shared with Tom. The shadows of his family would always be there, but they no longer held power over her heart. Clara had emerged stronger, reminding herself and others that love and resilience could shine through even the darkest storms.